Hi, my name is Metcalfe. I am a music therapist at Able Artswork. I was the intern at Able Artswork from July 2020 through January 2021, and I was completely virtual. Today, I'm going to be discussing some of my experience as an intern. For anyone that is considering being an intern at Able Artswork, has been accepted to be an intern, and to get a little bit of an idea of what interns' responsibilities are, or for anyone that's just curious about what the responsibilities of an intern are. Enjoy. Let's talk about the interview process. Prep yourself with things that you want the interviewers to know about you. Consider piggybacking off of a question they had to make sure that you get your information across or conveyed. Do your homework, check their website or social media, understand their language so that you can use that in your interview. Some words that may be used in Able Artswork would include inclusive, abilities, strong, affirming. Always be prepared with at least 2 pieces of music. Consider them being different categories, different genres. We all get nervous in these times. If you mess up, keep going. Show that you can recover. Remember, you're not trying to entertain or impress. You just want them to know your skill set. Appearance. Often these days, a lot of interviews are over the phone or Zoom. I suggest to still prep yourself completely to empower yourself and show them that you really care. Again, nerves can play a part, so maybe give yourself 10 to 15 minutes prior to the interview to stretch, breathe, meditate, and contemplate the things that you really want them to know about yourself. Remember that an interview is like a conversation. You want to get to know each other. The program should want to know if you're a good fit just as much as you want to know if they're a good fit for you. It's important for them to know what instruments you can play and you're comfortable on, what your prior education is, and what experience you've had specifically with populations. Consider telling a personal story of a time that music really affected you, or someone that you worked with, or sometime in the past when you realized that you wanted music to be a part of your future career, specifically in music therapy. One of the early questions you might get is, tell us a little bit about yourself. Of course, you don't want to make this a whole novel, but you want them to get to know you as well as possible, specifically in a musical aspect. You might also be asked, why music therapy? Have something prepared. What was it that drew you to music therapy? Of course, we want to help people, and if we can do that through music, then that's wonderful. But consider another personal experience that you may have had that drew you to this field. You may also be asked, why this population? There's no right or wrong answer here. Maybe you have a personal connection. Maybe it's just a population that you've always wanted to work with. Just remember, be genuine and honest about your answers. 2 popular questions that come up often are strengths and weaknesses, and only you know these. Strengths are always going to be something that's positive, but consider what you want them to know. Are you punctual and reliable, or are you super organized? You keep color-coded folders. This is also a part that you can talk about your strength working independently or working with others well. Weaknesses. This is one that I've always had a difficult time with, but I try to look at it more as, what can I work on? For me, going into my internship, it was working on being able to lead daily sessions, as well as getting into the virtual world of understanding and learning software. It could even be as simple as working with fellow employees. Maybe being a student, you didn't have the opportunity to do that so much, and you look forward to that challenge that may come up being an internist. You may be asked, what about the program or organization interests you? This is somewhere that you can bring in the homework that you've prepared of the social media or the website. Use their verbiage, their language. Maybe you are impressed by how they've impacted the community or how inclusive they are with all of their students and the range of abilities that they possess. You might be impressed with their longevity. For instance, Able Artswork has been in existence for over 35 years. You You may even admire people that are affiliated with the organization. Feel free to name drop someone that's worked there, or in my case, I studied under the CEO, Helen Dulles, which was a wonderful experience. You might be asked what your music therapy philosophy or mission statement is. Philosophy can be a big word, and maybe you start to overthink it. Try to just think about what first drew you into music therapy and why helping people through music is important to you. You don't necessarily have to have this super impactful statement, because maybe you're going to build that over time. Remember, you're just beginning as a music therapist. But consider that you already know through your education, understanding, and desire to be a music therapist why music therapy is important to you. This can be something that is also spoken about during the question of why music therapy or why this program. That may be something that you can bring up during that time. Remember to talk about student or client's abilities over disabilities. It's really important to discuss why abilities are so important for these students and how you want to help strengthen them. Another way that you can consider working through your mission statement or your philosophy is imagining if a friend asked you, what is music therapy, or why did you choose it? It may be a very simple response, but it's always better than sitting there and getting nervous and not knowing what to respond. Remember to sell yourself. Speak highly of yourself. Of course, you want to be humble as well, but you want those interviewing you to know that you're confident. Remember that body language is important, and especially when we have interviews over Zoom, we don't get the same sense that we do in person. So remember that eye contact is important. Be animated, but not too much. Articulate, smile with your voice. Now we're getting towards the end of the interview. When they ask if you have any questions, make sure that you at least have one or two. They want to know that you are interested and have questions if this is going to work out for you. Some examples of questions could be, what does the day-to-day look like at your program? What would some of an intern's responsibilities be? You might ask how many students are in a class that you would be leading. And you might even ask the person that's interviewing you, how long have you been with this program? Once again, it's a conversation and it's a two-way street. It may be good to know their experience, and maybe they'll have a little something to say that helps you have some insight to the program as well. By the end of the interview, you want the program to know more about you, and you want to know more about the program, so make sure that you've covered all of that ground. It is appropriate to ask, when can I expect to hear from you? You have a timeline, and maybe you have to consider if there are other internships that you're applying for as well. So it's good to have a ballpark estimate of when you should expect to hear from them. Don't forget, send a thank you to those interviewing you. They'll appreciate it more than you know.